regular city commission meeting of Tuesday, October 8th, 2013 to order. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whoever said 4-4 has got outdated information. 5-4, good guys. May we take roll?
Commissioner Bushy?
Here.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Here.
Commissioner Perry?
Here.
Commissioner Rubino?
Here.
Mayor Costelli?
Here. Is there a motion to adjourn and watch the tapes? Next item is consideration of the following minutes. Special City Commission meeting held Monday, August 12, 2013. Special City Commission meeting held Monday, September 9, 2013. Regular City Commission meeting held Tuesday, September 10th, 2013. Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move the minutes of the Special City Commission meeting held Monday, August 12th, the minutes of the Special City Commission meeting held Monday, September 9th, 2013, and the minutes of the regular City Commission meeting held Tuesday, September 10th, 2013 be approved as recommended.
Is there support?
Support.
May we take a vote?
Commissioner Bushy? I'm sorry, Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is the consideration of the presentation by Ms. Carol Zupan, Chairman of the Pleasant Ridge Historical Commission, recognizing centennial homes in the city of Pleasant Ridge. Carol.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carol Zupan. I'm the chairman of the Historical Commission. And as you probably know, a few years back, Pleasant Ridge was recognized by the National Registry as being an historic district. So at that time, we kind of looked at the ages of some of the homes around, and we found out we had quite a few centennial homes. So the commission decided that they wanted to do something to really recognize them. We looked at several options, and we came up with developing plaques. And we went to Pewabic Tile, thinking that that's somebody that's going to be around for a long time, because we'd like to take this and carry it forward so that from year to year you can continue to do this. And the plaques would remain the same, and everybody could, if you drove through the neighborhood, you could distinguish that's a centennial home. And I put together a little presentation here. Hopefully it works. What we've done is we actually are going to show you, there's 17 homes in the city right now that are 100 years or older.
Do you want the lights off, Carol?
Yeah, we probably sit down a little bit.
Can you put the light switch right there? It'll be like, there we go.
You want to sit? It's better.
Yeah.
Now, the oldest house in Pleasant Ridge, I think people will be surprised. It's 111 years old, and it's 32 Hanover. And what we've done is on your left is the oldest picture we could find, which would represent what the house looked like when it was actually constructed, and then what it looks like now. So nothing else was done until 1908. And then we have 44 Ridge. And then it was 2 years later till we went to 1910. And we actually then had 5 different houses built in that year. We have 9 Kemperton, 11 Poplar Park, 18 Poplar Park, 25 Poplar Park, 36 Ridge Road, and then going on to 1911, we actually had at that time 4 more houses built. 13 Poplar Park, 16 Ridge, 24 Ridge, 30 Elm Park, then moving on to 1912, there was only 1 house built, and that was at 30 Ridge. And then we moved on from there to 1913, which there are actually 6 houses built. 1 Kensington, 18 Ridge Road, 21 Poplar Park, 30 Oakdale, 31 Elm Park. And that's it. Break the lights up. They have a little divot in back, so they're very easy to install out in the front of the house. And who do we have here tonight that actually owns one of these houses? I see Mr. Wright. She's going to give you one. Who else do we have? Mr. Hartman, right here.
31 Elm.
House number 24-4 Rich. Here you go. Who else? Vance. There you go.
And you missed the Beavers.
I got them. Beavers?
Carol's got one. Yes. Carol's got one.
Did we lose? I will get you a box.
No, we have.
We have, okay.
21 Poplar.
Okay.
Right there, Carol.
Carol, right there. Benson.
Would you like a box or you want?
Nope, that's fine the way it is.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. Is there any questions? No questions? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sherry, did you want to address anything on the agenda before we got started?
I sure did. If I may, Mayor and City Commission, I would ask that the agenda be amended to remove the item number 16, which is consideration of appointing Mr. Scott Peterzak as the city's acting city manager. The reason for that being is that upon review of the city's records, Scott was appointed the acting city manager 12 years ago, and that stands today. So there is no need for that item.
Do we need a motion to remove from the agenda, or do you want to just
You
pass
don't
it?
need it.
Okay. Next item is the monthly disbursement report. Amy?
Payroll and accounts payable was provided to all of you prior to the meeting for September. Payroll was $55,910.17. Accounts payable was $906,783.83, of which $289,466.82 was in tax liabilities.
Any questions on the disbursement report? Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the September 2013 disbursement report be approved as listed.
Is there support?
Support.
Can we take a vote?
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Kuziak?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item are governmental reports. Do we have any representatives of other governmental entities here?
I'm Danica Mueller. I'm on the school board, and I'm here to give you an update of what's going on in our district this month. As you know, thanks to all the voters, we had bond passed, and the theater in the high school was completely redone. It's gorgeous, it has air conditioning, and the first show is this month, October 24th. It's the Hijinks and Hilarity Show. It's a combination of orchestra and choir. All the kids come dressed in Halloween. If you want to come dressed in Halloween, it's a very silly show. They've been doing it for years and years. It's a great time. Please come and check out what your vote did for us. We have a home game this Friday at the high school. Fall Festival is at JFK Elementary, Saturday, October 12th from 11 to 3. There'll be tons of stuff for kids to do, face painting, jumping things, all sorts of stuff like that. And then there's a event actually happening here in Pleasant Ridge called Orktoberfest.
Yes.
And that's going to be a beer and wine tasting event benefiting the Ferndale Schools Orchestra program. And that'll be here at 22 Ridge Road. It's on October 8th from 6 to 11 p.m.
The 18th. The 18th.
Oh, what did I just say? Sorry, it is October 18th. You're totally right, sorry. Totally too many dates. From 6 to 11 p.m. And it's $25 per person, and obviously this is a 21 and older event. Then we have the elementary PTA Halloween Family Fun Night on October 25th, and that's at Coolidge Elementary, and I myself work on that one every year, and we create, there's like a spooky hallway where dozens of parents come and volunteer and make a mildly sort of age-appropriate haunted house. So that's from 6:30 to 8:30. And then something I'm actually personally really excited about is that through the district we started a new group, and it's called the Ferndale Friends of Different Learners. This is a group that's open to all people. Whether you have a child that is a different learner, whether you do not, whether you're, for me personally, my middle son, one of his good friends, has autism, so we've been really involved with this because it's a way for us to figure out how we can be more supportive to those families that we love who have really big things that they're dealing with at home. They would like everyone to know that whether you're in the district, whether you're going to a private school, whether you're school choice, doesn't matter. This is a support group for families that live within this area, to have folks that they can lean on, folks that understand what they're going through, and they can start as a whole to make a stronger community out of that community that reaches out, that includes not just the friends of different learners. So whether you have a different learner or not, it's a really, really amazing group of people that are running this. So that'll be Tuesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Harding Administration Building. Right now, they're discussing where it's going to be usually. So this meeting will be at Harding. I believe that then the next month they're going to be doing it at the high school. And they're going to try to maybe move around and make sure that they can reach different areas of the community, so that way they're pulling in people that feel like it's within their neighborhood. And then the only other thing, well, I mean, there's lots of other stuff, but the only other big thing is we have a Board of Education meeting on October 21st, 7 p.m. We love to see anybody there. We usually get to see Commissioner Perry, which is always wonderful. So, but that's kind of October in a nutshell. So does anybody have any questions?
Questions? Thank you.
November 2nd, marching band competition, Ford Field, Ferndale High School.
I did. It's going to be at the high school.
No, it's at Ford Field, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
And
Marching band competition November 2nd at Ford Field.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Any other governmental reports? City Commission liaison reports. Historic Commission, Commissioner Rubino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, we held our second annual, if you want to call it that, second annual art sales this past weekend, and started off a little bit slow. We didn't think it was going to turn out too well, but it turned out well. We made more than last year, which is always a good thing. The dealers were happy. We were able to sell a lot of goods, and that was good. And they all want to come back. Hopefully that happens. I think we had about 350 or 360 people show up. We had a lot more dealers. All the rooms were filled. One or two dealers took 3 or 4 spots and had a wide range of antiques. It was really, really well done. Very happy with it. Hopefully next year we get even more people to show up. Also, they're going to have a speaker series sometime in January. The exact date I can tell you, well, somebody can tell you next meeting. We'll tell you when that will be. It will probably be the 3rd Thursday in January, as it is right now. It's going to be on Pewabic tiles, I think. So that should be very interesting. George Lenko has volunteered, and he's much of an expert on tiles, and he is going to talk about all the different homes in Pleasant Ridge that has Pewabic tiles, and the original, how they came about, and what kind they are, and what they look like, and the pictures. And should be extremely interesting. So hopefully that comes to fruition. Mr. Mayor, that's it.
Rec Commission, Commissioner Krzyjak.
Thank you, Mayor. We did not have a meeting in September, but we are currently working on our recreation master plan. We'll pick that up at our next meeting, and we're also in preparations for our annual Thanksgiving Artist Market, which will be held in November. Scott, I don't know, are we still taking artists? If anybody knows, is any artists for the Thanksgiving Market, or are we all full?
Yeah, they can contact us and we can see if we can get them in. We do have a pretty full slate, but could always try to make room for some people.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if we were already full up or. But if you know anybody, local artists who would be interested in participating in the Thanksgiving Artist Market, please contact Scott, and we'll see if we can get them in the this year's event. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Planning Commission DDA, Commissioner Bushy.
Well, as Planning Commission DA did not have a meeting this September either, but they do have their survey out, the master plan survey. Their flyers went out to the residents this past weekend. The survey is available here at City Hall or on the city website. We can access it. And that's pretty important. I think everybody should make a point to make sure they fill that out and get it in, because that will be obviously part of the city's master plan for coming future.
Available online as well?
Available online through the city website.
Everything else, Commissioner Perry.
Well, thank you to Nan Kermuller for delivering all the school events. There was one more thing that I just saw. There's a bully-proof event. It's an anti-bullying workshop for parents and school staff on October 15th at 6:30 p.m. to 8 at the Ferndale High School Media Center, which sounds like a great, a good event too. On some of the other events, the WA3 yesterday helped celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the moving assembly line down in Highland Park, right next to the historic, the administration building for the Model T. And there were Model T rides as well as some really nice, live music and everything. They had a lot of good historical things going on. And we can still all donate to this wonderful, to help save the building and then also help improve. The Highland Park, it is the administration building and it is where the original Ford Model T moving assembly line was done. And so it's 100 years old as of yesterday.
I hear yesterday's event caused a big traffic jam too, as they were removing the banner as people were leaving Comerica Park.
Oh, no. Yeah, timing isn't always good. And also, if you would still like to donate, go to woodwardavenue.org, and they are still accepting donations for the building. They have found us some supplemental funding to help purchase the building, so they do have the ownership of the building now, which is good, which will help save and preserve this wonderful, Albert Kahn building, and then which also has Quabic tiles around the top. And they will start doing some really nice fundraising to help move it forward to make it a usable, wonderful building. Another exciting thing, Planning Commissioner Mike DeCoster said that he has planned to have the complete streets presentation at the October 28th Planning Commission meeting. And Jason Fowler is going to come from the WA3, who has helped orchestrate and organize all of the different Parsons Brinkerhoff groups and all of these different charrettes and things through the community. It should be a really good, thorough presentation. He was hoping to have transit there at the same time, but it may be at in the November meeting. So, because those two aspects, those two programs are really working together, and it's really important to work together. But it'll be a great place for the community members to come out on October 28th to the Planning Commission meeting, so you can hear what is going on with, some of the complete streets ideas for our community and the communities around us. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is consideration of the report on the Pleasant Ridge Community Pool 2013 season. Scott.
Yeah, I'm gonna let PowerPoint expedite me a little bit here too, so visual always is nice.
You want the lights on again?
That's okay. It's not necessary. We just have a couple of charts and graphs. So I'm pleased to report to the City Commission on the Pleasant Ridge Community Pool 2013. It was a fun summer. The attendance was was a little down this year, and that is mainly due to temperatures, which we'll show you here in a few minutes. So we have.
Can you turn the lights off, please? They can't pick it up on TV.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can see we have a history of attendance. The yellow is a regular resident admits. The red is the guest admittances, and the other little number is the rest of the categories all put together. So this year our total attendance was 17,918, and that is down almost 6,000 unique users from the previous year, and that's mainly because of temperature. So you can see we have a historical average temperature since 2008 also, and you can see how it's Michigan. I don't have any other explanation for it other than that, but this was one of the colder summers that we've had in the last few years. 2009 was another summer like that. So you can see here that attendance and temperature are statistically connected, and these charts are, take away the numbers and they're identical the way the bars go. If you have a hot summer, you have more pool users. That's what it boils down to. So never thought that I'd be like somewhat of a weatherman as I took on the responsibilities of the pool, but it helps us plan for the year. One of our big additions and really the highlight of the season was Moberty Park. Renovation was completed before the opening of the pool season, and I don't remember there being a time where we had so many good comments or just general use of an area since the pool opened in 2004. Field turf ended up being a great solution to the area that was always plagued with dirt and mud. And even if we had put real grass in that area, it would have been trampled in the high traffic spots, especially during swim meets and other type of events. So you can see these two are from a swim meet, and our team actually moved over to that area where we used to put the away teams over there because it was kind of muddy and not the best. So now it was redone. It's like, oh, we're going to move over there. So our team enjoyed the amenities of Moberty Park, and we moved the away teams over to the other underneath the big umbrella. So that should tell you something right there. Contaminations, 0. It's our third consecutive summer with 0 contaminations. Thank a lot of the different factors. I would put that I'd put that streak up against any other pool in the state, and especially in the county. 3 years with no problems, and I mean we have decent attendance numbers. And a major role that reduces that number is the clearing of all kids in the pool during adult swim. We make everybody get out of the pool, whether we don't even allow them to stay in the 0 depth area. Get a break from the water, go use the bathroom, and it works. And since we've started doing that, the contaminations have, been eliminated. So that is always a plus, because contaminations cost money, they cost time, and they make people unhappy. So it's good that we don't really have to deal with that. Safety's our biggest concern at the pool. We had no serious incidents at the pool this summer. You always have a bump an elbow, scrape knee here and there. But we've been designated as a safe facility by the health department and by the administration, because we typically do not have any problems other than, like I said, the general kid issues that you have. So I'm pleased to present this report to you for the operation of the 2013. It's a challenge. It's always a challenging summer with the temperatures the way they are. There's times when you struggle whether to stay open for the rest of the day because it's cold or it's rainy or whatnot. But the staff did a great job, and I want to thank all the community pool staff, and special thanks to the pool managers, the coaches, my assistant Bridget, and all the staff at City Hall for putting up with me during the summer. It's always a little hectic for us. So that's about it.
Questions? Lights, camera. Thank you, Scott.
Oh, can I ask you? I'm sorry. I know you're anticipating some maintenance things for next year. What are some of your keys with some of the anticipated maintenance issues that you're looking at?
Yeah, as the pool ages, you know, we see these issues, you know, they happen.
Sure.
It's always, it's a tough day when you come to pull the cover off because you don't know what the pool shell is gonna look like, you know, depending on what the winter brought to us. But we always have, you know, the replacement straps on the chairs because those are constantly breaking. We have umbrella replacements and table and chairs are the most common. But in the near future, there's going to have to be a Marsite repair or a Marsite replace. Is more important. Marsite is the actual surface of the pool. When they install the pool, it's concrete, it's gunite. They spray in concrete and they form it to build a pool, and then they put a surface called Marsite, or the big part of the pool is Marsite. The small part is PebbleTech, a little bit more friendlier on the feet for the little ones, and those wear out. And they wear out from chemicals use, acid washing the pool after the cover's taken off, which we haven't had to acid wash for 3 years straight now because we keep pH and chlorine levels in the pool all winter long. I'm constantly out there adding chlorine and trying to keep that water clear, and it also, we can reuse some of the water then too, which we've been able to do for the last couple of years. So the Marsite and PebbleTech is a big one, and that's a big ticket item when it finally is going to need a full replace. We've been able to do some small repairs here and there, but it's coming.
How old is the pool, Scott?
This was our 10th season.
Yeah, it's due.
So it's due. They actually said that it's usually between 6 and 8 years when you need to have a full replacement. Huntington Woods had to have one, I believe, after 4 seasons. So it's coming, but we try to prolong it as long as we can.
You just reminded me that I did my last one when the pool was built, so I'm due.
So we're on the same schedule, right? But of course, you know, residential pools don't get the use that we do. I mean, we have, we prolonged it, so it's been nice. So.
I have a question. Yeah. At the coffee house, there was a question brought up about whether the tables and the chairs and umbrellas were put away for the winter. One of the comments was that somebody thought it was left out all winter.
Oh, they were all put away on Saturday, actually.
Okay.
So they're stored away for the winter. We have to wait till they fully cover the pool and completely close it before we can put the chairs away, and then they go in the large storage shed that's in the rear of the pool. But they were all put away on Saturday. We have just a few little items here and there that we do have to clear off the deco in the next.
Okay, the umbrellas too are put away.
The umbrellas are down too and put away. Yeah.
Those big ones, do they get covered?
The big ones
for
get
winter?
covered. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate
Other
it very
questions?
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Scott.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good job.
Next item is public discussion items not on the agenda.
Devin Benner, 41 Oakdale. I got a question about the water. Have we raised enough? Let me put my glasses on. Have we raised enough revenue from water use to cover this year's rainwater runoff charges? From freshwater use?
Well, we will pay our bill.
Have we raised enough through through freshwater use to pay that bill?
I don't know what you're asking, Devin.
I thought that we paid our rainwater runoff charges with the revenue that we raised through water usage, the water bills.
We pay all of our bills for water usage regardless of where it comes from.
Do we usually raise enough money through water usage to pay the rainwater runoff charge?
We pay them all, yes. Am I missing something?
No, I just want to know, do we have an exceedingly high rainwater runoff charge this year because of the rain? I'm just curious.
I think he's talking about the combination sewer system.
Yeah.
From
you know,
from the 12-ton drains that we get charged for our rainwater runoff since we don't have dual meters.
we can't have dual meters, that's a whole different issue.
Okay.
We have a combined sanitary system where all water that's produced in a house and outside a house
Right.
runs into the system. And therefore, all water must be treated, including rainwater.
Right.
So any bill that we get for water usage, water treatment, we pay them. And we pay them on time. And so yes, the water fund is an enterprise fund and it must sustain itself. And so we will raise enough money to pay the bills,
Okay.
okay?
Also, I picked up the, this piece of paper here, which is to show the difference that my house would pay if proposal A passes, but I was a little confused. It says the total amount of additional tax 41 Oakdale will incur if both proposal A and B pass, and it says $946. Isn't that only if they levy the full 2 mills? If they use the full 2 mills of that proposal?
Well, yes.
Okay, so shouldn't this read the total amount of additional tax that 41 Oakdale may incur if both proposal A and B pass and the total amount is levied?
I think,
What?
I think he's editing.
No, I'm saying, shouldn't it say that?
I don't know
I don't think it's
Can I answer?
No.
I think it's
Not
at
that-
17. At least it's 17.
Scott, you prepared it. You want to?
I'm just
I'm
asking
not sure
questions.
what you're asking,
So
yeah, but
the-
I'm sorry, I
the-
don't
is-
mean to.
Okay, here's my question, let me re-ask it.
Okay,
If proposal A passes, my tax will go up approximately $946 no matter what?
Yes,
if proposal A passes.
yes.
And the levy goes up to 20 mils, is that what you're
Yeah, that's what I'm
asking?
it's not necessarily going up to 20
It
mils.
is
No.
not going up.
It might go up to 1.5, correct? That's what, currently it's not said, but 1.57?
Scott, would you please
Yeah.
kind of try to address this?
Yes, the sheet that Devin's referring to is a one-page plus that is for, we have prepared for every household. That number that he speaks of, the $946 is if proposal A and B passes and the city commission levies up to the 15.5 mils that they have discussed talking about in previous meetings.
Okay. I
So that will be the 15.5 mils on the general. That will be an additional 1.3 mils toward the solid waste, because that fund will, the levy will be, the levy will be pulled off of that also. Now, the other number you see on that sheet is what your water bill will be decreased based on the water usage that you had from the previous year. So that takes into account of the going up to 15.5, 2.0 mils of that is gonna go toward the water and sewer fund to pay George W. Kuhn Drain and some of the fixed costs of the water fund. 1.3 mils of it will come out of the solid waste fund, and we'll take some of that garbage, the GU charge you see on your water bill, that's currently $43 some change. It'll take it down to about $8 and some change. So what you see is the difference on your water bill, that your water bill will go down, plus what your tax bill will go up for a net difference, approximate difference based on, there's variables in there that, which of course is your taxable value and your water bill.
Thank you.
Clear?
So it could be less. Could 946.
It could be if the city commission decides to levy less than the 15.5 and the 1.3 towards solid waste, absolutely could be less, yes. Or if your taxable value goes down, yes.
So it could be more too?
If the city commission decides to levy more than the
Go for the
15.5,
full 2 or 20?
If they go for the
then it
full
could
20,
be
it
more,
could go
yes.
up.
These are,
Okay,
like I
thank
said, these are variables and approximates based on what the discussions that have been
That
had.
clarifies it, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
And your other items not on the agenda. Back to the agenda. Consent agenda, Sherry.
Mayor and City Commission, there is one item on the consent agenda this evening, and that is consideration of a resolution recognizing October as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You have a resolution that was prepared by Gilda's Club and the American Cancer Society. My recommendation is that the consent agenda be approved.
Is there such a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move the consent agenda be approved as recommended.
Is there support?
Support.
We'll take a vote.
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is public hearing, solicitation of public comments on an ordinance to amend Chapter 42 miscellaneous provisions, Article 4, offenses against public peace, Section 42-86, ignition, discharge, and use of consumer fireworks, and Section 42-87, violations, fines, and penalties. This is an amendment to the ordinance adopted this year, February, with respect to fireworks. Sherry.
Basically, Your Honor, this ordinance falls in line with the state law, which has changed since the city adopted the ordinance in February. It does allow for further regulation of the hours that consumer fireworks may be discharged. It also regulates the maximum penalty that can be imposed upon people for violation of this law. So my recommendation is that the ordinance be adopted.
And would you please summarize the areas of prohibition and what the fines are?
Sure. So, they define the difference in fireworks in the law itself, and the following are legal public holidays when fireworks are allowed: New Year's Day, birthday of Martin Luther King Jr., Washington's birthday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, and Christmas Day.
And then hours?
And ignition, discharge, or use of the consumer fireworks shall be prohibited between the hours of midnight and 8 a.m. on the days when their use is not already prohibited, and between the hours of 1 a.m. and 8 a.m. on New Year's Day.
And the fine?
It's $500. Not more than $500.
Open the public hearing. Close the public hearing. Next item is consideration of the ordinance to amend Chapter 42 miscellaneous provisions, Article 4 offenses against public peace, Section 42-86 ignition, discharge, and use of consumer fireworks, and Section 42-87 violations, fines, and penalties. Is there a motion with respect to the proposed ordinance?
So moved.
You move to adopt the ordinance?
Adopt the ordinance.
Is there support?
I support. Changed it from reading it, huh?
Well, he did already.
Any questions, comments? Maybe take a vote.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is consideration of the fiscal year 2014 municipal and community credits contract with the Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transport, known as SMART. Sherry?
This item was introduced last month, and the city is eligible to receive funds for regional transportation through SMART. Pleasant Ridge is entitled to receive $2,470 in municipal credit funds and $3,028 in community credit funds. And these funds, actually this year there was a reduction. SMART saw a significant reduction in their federal funds that they received, and of course that was passed on. We were reduced by $729 this year. And over the past 4 years, actually. What we do with the SMART funds is unique, because several years ago I discussed the idea of funding our trolley program through SMART funds. And it was an interesting conversation, and SMART was receptive to the idea and liked the way that we were using the trolley for the downtown promotions, among other things. And they actually approved that use for these funds. So, as required, the governing body must pass a resolution, and my recommendation is that the municipal and community credits contract between the city and SMART be approved.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I move, sorry.
Oh, you go ahead.
I move the fiscal year 2014 municipal and community credits contract between the City of Pleasant Ridge and the Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transportation, SMART, be approved as recommended.
Is there support?
Support.
Take a vote.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item is the consideration of the contract between the City of Pleasant Ridge and the Pleasant Ridge Police Officers Association. Sherry and Rob, I think, on this one, right? Is Rob part of that?
Rob is here.
There he is. He's in
Okay.
the glare.
The contract with our police officers was set to expire June 30th, 2013. The city notified the union that it was willing and ready to negotiate. As you know, it's not always easy to meet with police officers due to their scheduling. There were 2 union representatives this year that were willing to, that were elected as the official representatives of the union in Pleasant Ridge. I think it was probably around June when I was approached by the officers who said that they would be willing to sit down and discuss this without the use of legal representation, and of course I am always willing to do that. And so we started the negotiation process. It sometimes takes several months, only because the demands that are presented, there's an initial review, and from there, it's a little bit of back and forth, but I will tell you, it is always a pleasure to work with our police officers and our union, even though there have been times when there has been heated discussion. Our relationship is such, it's built on trust and respect, so I never anticipate a problem that cannot be solved. And this year was no different. So just in the last couple of weeks, we finally narrowed it down, and there, in your memo, I have outlined the union tentative settlement agreement, and I've listed both the union and city proposals. You can see and you will read that many of the proposals have more to do with policies and procedures. It does change the contract considerably. It does change the scheduling and opportunities considerably. And in return, the officers will receive compensation. There are no changes to the current health care coverage. And something that is different is officers that complete the fire training will receive additional compensation for that, as well as those officers that complete and continue to recertify their medical first responder training will receive a little bit extra on their hourly rate for that certification. The city asked for and received an increase in the number of aggregate hours that our part-time officers will be able to work. And by doing that, we will be able to hire additional part-time officers and/or use them more frequently. That is something that's a program that's been very successful in Pleasant Ridge as well as other communities. There was hesitation on the part of the police when this was first introduced a number of years ago now. But after some time, I think everyone realized that this truly is an enhancement to an existing police department. It is of great benefit to a community, and the officers realize it is of benefit to them as well. So
And to emphasize that, if I'm reading your memo correctly, essentially what we're going to is from 1 full-time equivalent to 2.5 full-time equivalents with part-time officers to deal with having more people on the road at one time and the flexibility of shifts. Is that correct?
That's correct. With the ability to even go to 3 part-time officers. And along with that, there's many additional benefits where there are some programs that the officers and the city have been discussing that, you know, would be perfect for a part-time officer with the assistance of a full-time officer to implement. That involves things like the Neighborhood Watch program. It has community interaction. So I look for that to come up in the next year or two, or sooner. And I will tell you that one of our recently hired part-time police officers who is retired from another department, started work today. And you'll probably meet him next month or in December formally. There was also a change in the use of what's known as a personal business day. A personal business day is absolutely golden, and just the mere mention of that during negotiations strikes fear in the heart of many. So I was pleased that the officers were willing to take a look at this and modify the provision in the contract, which will be of benefit to the city. And then the other, there's language in there that gives more flexibility with the scheduling. Currently, the contract allows for 8, 10, and 12-hour shifts for full-time officers, and allows even more flexibility for part-time officers. So if there is an event in the city, for example, and we would like 3 officers attending, like a concert in the park, we can actually schedule someone for 4 hours if need be. So that will be of benefit to both the officers and especially to the city. Other than that, there were minor language changes. Officer Reed and Nowak were the 2 representatives from the union, and I've actually talked to the other officers involved, and I will just tell you, as always, it was such a pleasure to be able to work with them one-on-one in a room and reach agreement with. It was pretty easy, and so many thanks to those officers.
You're gonna add to the first year increase that's already in the budget under contingency.
That's correct.
And I would, first of all, like to compliment all 3 that were involved in this negotiation. And I would estimate that the first year's payroll increase was financed by saving legal fees. Because I'm sure that is what your fee probably would have been or more if there
Would have
had been
been a
lawyers
little more.
involved. So,
That's true.
great job, everybody.
Thank
Rob,
you.
thank you. After that, I hope there's a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the agreement between the City of Pleasant Ridge and the Pleasant Ridge Police Officers Association effective July 1, 2013 to June 30, 2018 be approved as recommended by the City Administration.
Support.
Excuse me, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I just have a few questions. First of all, I definitely want to join the mayor in thanking Officers Reed and Officer Nowak. I know being a union rep is not always the most appreciated position to be in sometimes. So I appreciate your work in representing your fellow police officers. I had a question about union approval. Now, will they vote on this to approve this contract, or have they voted on it? They have voted?
Rob,
We've already voted on it as a union, and we spoke to our union representation as well.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's all on you guys at this point.
Okay. No, I just know that, there's an approval process on your guys' side. I didn't know if that had taken place yet or not.
Yes, we've been discussing it through the officers and with the city manager all along the process, and we've already taken care of that on our end.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. And I guess I just had a curiosity about the length of the contract is 5 years, correct, Sheriff?
Yeah.
What were previous contracts?
3.
Usually 3? Okay.
I think there was an exception that during the economic crunch, I think it was year 08 or 09, we actually had a 2-year contract. And that was, I think, the shortest. This was a request by the union because, as has been expressed in recent meetings, there is some anxiety among employees about what is to come. So with that, I certainly understand where some of that may come from. So the union has always wanted to extend the contract I think we did 4 twice.
And this is 5, but with a possible reopener on economics after 3.
That's right. So it is a 5-year length with language in there that allows either side to reopen after 3 to look at compensation.
Okay. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just one comment. Sherry, the personal day issue was a very big item for you to achieve. I don't know if people understand, but if an officer wants a day off and doesn't get it, they can call in personal automatically, and that creates overtime. And for the officers to give that up is very much a sign of excellent cooperation. Good job. That saved a lot of dollars right there. Yes, it's excellent. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
We've got a motion, we got support, may we take a vote?
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Kuziak?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Costelli?
Yes, motion carries. Next item. Consideration of the process for selection of a new city manager. I think Commissioner Perry asked to have this on the agenda by email a couple of weeks ago, and Sherry provided some information as far as what process is available through the MML and what the cost of that process is. So Sherry, can you kind of walk us through that?
Sure. The city commission has been talking about the next step, and as you know, the mayor mentioned last month that it would be, the responsible thing to do would be to wait till after the November election and let a new city commission decide exactly what it is they are going to do. So I provided you a lengthy memo about the services that are offered through the MML as far as the city manager selection services. And I discussed this a few times with the consultant who would be assigned to Pleasant Ridge. The cost would be about $8,500, and it's pretty much, they will do everything for you. But the best part of it, I think, the most helpful part for both sides would be the first step is the consultant and whoever it is that will be working with the city immediately will meet with the city commission one-on-one. That's an interview process, and they find out exactly what it is that the commission is looking for in a manager. They want to know exactly or as much detail as possible about the community that this person will be working in, what's expected from the residents of that community, and it's just an exchange to for them to be able to fit a person, the best person for the job in Pleasant Ridge. It does go into other detail, and I provided you a packet of their information as to how it works. It's a multi-step process, but it can be moved along as quickly or as slow as you need it to. So,
Well, part and parcel of that also is do whatever city commission, in my opinion, having some meetings amongst themselves before they sit down with this consultant, so they can figure out where they're coming from first before they're
the whole
spending money
idea,
on the consultant and passing that on.
that's correct. So I did put this item on the agenda. There is not a motion, as I want to point out to Commissioner Perry, because I thought there was.
It's a good thing you didn't bet money.
I know, right? We should have, right? Anyway, but, so for the purpose of information, this is set and ready. Again, I think the city commission may want to wait, allow action to be taken by the new city commission at the November 12th meeting. And nonetheless, it is there and waiting. There is much for a new city commission to do in the first 30 to 60 days and beyond. I know that there are already dates established for newly elected officials academy, and I would hope that everyone would be able to take advantage of that. So it's out there, and I think take some comfort in knowing that whatever you need will be available for you.
And to I guess, respond to a question that I heard asked last month sometime, I can't remember of what, but and certainly would anticipate being asked again. The initial part of that process, insofar as the screening of applicants, is done by the MML and done confidentially, because people who are employed are not going to put themselves in the newspapers looking for a job until that initial screening is.
Oh, yes, and they will emphasize that you may get 40 applications, whatever that number is, that is not to be released to the public. And until that list is narrowed down to whatever manageable number the city commission decides, these candidates are then notified that, okay, now this city is
You're
ready
in
to go
the
public.
semifinals or the finals, do you want your name out there?
That's right, and then they could choose whether or not they wish to continue with the interview process. Because, if there's 25, someone may say, no, thank you. So that's, and MML will explain all that.
And would you run through the MML process with respect to interim city manager position, should the commission decide to go that way?
Yes, I discussed the idea of an interim city manager, and I learned that the MML keeps a list of retired managers or people who are in the position. They are former city managers who are either in transition or retired. They do not hire interim city managers. They do not recommend interim city managers. They just provide you a list with the resume of these candidates, and then the city commission can call them, contact them, and schedule interviews. That's usually done by a staff person in the city, as far as arranging the schedules and interviews. So I reviewed the list with our consultant, and there are not many at this time available. And some that are available would have to travel a distance, so there may be a cost for room and board. There's mileage.
There can be tolls across that bridge up north for one of them.
The interim managers generally require an employment agreement, mileage reimbursement, so that's a different beast than an acting manager, for example, which is someone within the ranks of the city that keeps things going on a daily basis. So interim is a decision in and of itself.
And we had an interim in the 80s, Mr. Zemke.
You did.
And
He hired me.
And we paid room and board for him.
Yes, he lived on just almost on the west side of the state. He went home on weekends, and the city provided him a car, gas, and they paid for his housing during the week. And it's been my experience that interims, they keep the city operating on a daily basis, but they do have full authority of a city manager. It is not limited authority.
Thank you. Questions from the commission?
Mayor?
City, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sherry. This packet is great. It really gives such thorough information, and it shows a path very clearly. So thank you very much for gathering that.
City manager's report.
Well, let's see. So Thursday night, October 10th at 7 o'clock, we will have an informational meeting about the millage question that's listed on the November 5th ballot. It will be held at the community center. And I hope anyone who has questions will come out to that. There will be an election on Tuesday, November 5th. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The city clerk is now issuing and accepting absentee ballots, so if you need one of those, you can contact the city clerk.
And the city clerk will be here on November
Saturday.
2nd.
Yes, from 9 until 2 to accept absentee ballots. Curbside leaf collection program will start maybe in October, and I say maybe because it does not start until there are leaves on the ground and a substantial amount of leaves. We wait until a majority of leaves has fallen to start that program because it is operated for about 4 weeks.
Becky told me that back in the old days when the DPW guys used to go get your garbage
Yes.
cans and take them to, that they used to climb the trees and clip them so they never fell.
Yeah, I would not count on that happening again. Right. The Foundation's Oktoberfest will be held on October 26th at 7 p.m. and that is at the DPW yard. And the city's Halloween hayride will be held on October 27th at 4 p.m. And then I am going to ask that the City Commission, and the Women's Club on November 8th, Friday, will have their community dinner. That's at the community center. Tickets are adults 10 and children 12 and under $5. And I am going to ask that the City Commission refer an issue to the Planning Commission for them to take a look at before you need to. But as I've mentioned in a memorandum to you, the city's received more than 3 building permit applications for very large garages. And they are actually not called garages on the permit application, they're called accessory buildings. It seems to be a trend, and from my research and talking to our consultant, there are things that are now called accessory dwelling units. And basically, it can become a second principal structure on a single-family residential lot. These buildings or garages are fairly large. They are equipped with plumbing, electrical, and heating. They often either have living space on a second floor or a first floor, but they also provide on-site parking. I had a permit last week, an architect brought in for a garage that was about 35 by 30 maybe. It would comply with the lot coverage, so.
But it's too big for an accessory building, isn't it? Square foot wise?
No, it wasn't. It was just under the 750 square feet.
Okay,
So that's
so it wasn't
what
30 by 20 or something.
Right. So, and the plans showed a proposed future use of, a bedroom, a living room, and whatever. And so I asked the architect to remove the future use until the city had time to consider what it wanted to do as far as allowing these structures, because again, you can run into problems in the future having 2 principal structures on a single lot. So what I'm asking the City Commission to do is just refer it at this point to the Planning Commission, let them take a look at it. Many communities are looking at it, including Ann Arbor and Grand Rapids, so I think it's a popular way. And the initial reason, it was pretty interesting reading the research as to how this came about. And I would like them to start looking at that at their meeting on October 28th, if that's okay with you.
Is there a motion to refer?
So moved.
Is there support?
Support.
Can I take a vote, Amy?
Commissioner Bushy?
Yes.
Commissioner Rubino?
Yes.
Commissioner Krzyjak?
Yes.
Commissioner Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Castilli?
Yes, motion carries.
That's all I have, Mayor, thank you.
Other business?
Mayor, thank you. Real quick, I know we got to catch the end of the Tiger game. Hopefully it's over and we've
I think we
won.
probably missed it.
But
Still going.
I just want to inform the community about the book club that we've gotten going on the last Tuesday of every month. Our last book was The Abundant Community. I love this book. If you only read one book, because I suggest it, this is the one you should read. It has a lot of great ideas about community building and strengthening. I think we have an incredible community we all love. This has ways that we can make it even stronger. So that was last month's topic. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. This month, we're going to investigate this idea of the commons, and all that. And the name of the book is All That We Share, and it's kind of builds on what we discussed with the abundant community as far as the power of community and neighbors coming together. There's a great community garden. We have a great community garden, so we're ahead of the game on a lot of the ideas in here. But if you are interested in this, please send me an email. I can get you a copy, or you can get a copy through BookBeat. I know I've talked to them about getting copies, and they're being more than happy to help you. And that's going to be on Tuesday, October 29th at 7 p.m. I think we're going to do the community center this time, 4 Ridge Road. So please, if you're interested, come and join us. And then I have to share, I got this.
Future beard.
I got this at the antique show, which was a lot of fun. But I think this is going to be my aspiration. I'm a big fan of like turn of the century facial hair, and that's what I'd like to maybe someday do. My wife doesn't know that yet. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Any other business? For the last time, I will solicit a motion to adjourn. Jerry, would you care to make it?
Yes, so moved.
Is there support?
Before we support, I want to say something, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. This may be our last meeting together, and I wanted to thank you for working together with me and being a mentor to me, and I appreciate that very much, Jerry. You've been really good to me, and I appreciate the time we worked together. I think you guys have done a great job, and I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All in favor of seeing the end of the Tiger game, say aye.
It's over.